Hi folks, Dave here. I'm getting ready to use my Makeskyblue charge controller to run my air conditioning, and I've got some batteries on the way. They're 100 amp hour batteries. I'll have those as soon as possible. And what I'm doing right now is I'm charging my lawnmower as a test load using my new Makeskyblue charge controller. And you can see the activity right there. Currently I have 4 100 watt solar panels to test this controller. They're outside, and eventually I'm going to use my 1200 watt solar panels to feed into this. And that's actually charging these two 20 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries here. I've got a Coulomb counting amp meter. There's the shunt. And this is one of my amp NVT 1200 watt inverters, low frequency. And that's going into a power strip, which is going into a power cord, which is coming over here. And it's going into this switch mode power supply, which is then charging the battery of my lawnmower. Now, of course, I don't normally do this. This is not how I normally want to do it. This meter is exceptionally hard to read by the camera. The camera has a very hard time with it. In person, it's just fine. You can see my voltage is around 53 volts, 130 watts. There's the charging cable going down into the lawnmower, and it's charging up. Now, this is not the most efficient way to do it, but it does allow me to go ahead and test my charge controller. And this is going to be part of a permanent install in the solar workshop. Of course, I wouldn't try to use these batteries to run air conditioning, but when I get the 100 amp hour batteries, those are on the way. Those are going to be installed with this inverter and this charge controller, and they will power that air conditioner all day because I need it to run all day. The shop is too big. Without this air conditioner running all day, it would get very hot. It does get very hot in here. I also need to run this dust filtration system part of the time, and I can go ahead and turn that on now. It's actually connected to the inverter. The setup here on this table is temporary. This is a bench test. I want to make sure this charge controller is going to suit me. Right now I'm only getting about 30 watts. That's because the sun is going behind the clouds. Of course, with only 40 amp hours of battery, I can't run very long, but like I said, more batteries are on the way. They're in shipping right now, and I should have them on Tuesday, I hope. So once all of this equipment passes my bench test, it will then be installed permanently over here. And you can see I'm gathering some cables. I do have some items I'm waiting for in the mail. I hope those will be here next week, probably by Tuesday or Wednesday time frame. I've got some cables, and there's going to be 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries lined up here. So I have the option of moving them down here if I want to, or expanding. I haven't decided exactly. And the inverter will be somewhere right here in this area, the charge controller. And then I'm going to have an AC cable to distribute power. Might have 2 or 3 of them. And I'm going to use extension cords because, well, that's just the easiest thing for me right now, is to use extension cords. I also did some more work on the power board off camera. I have not completed it. It's a work in progress. What I did is I added this 2.1 millimeter plug here. You can see that there. And what that's used for is charging my E600 solar generator when I need to. Now I'm going to be adding more of these, but I really like doing this. This is direct DC solar power, and I usually would have multiple connections to allow me to plug anything I want into the solar. That's a work in progress. I'll certainly be adding more 2.1 millimeter plug connections, and it takes a while to get it all done. Obviously I had to solder the wires, heat shrink them, and all that good stuff. As soon as possible, I will create a video showing the installation of the equipment here. I decided to wait until I have the 100 amp hour batteries. I don't see the point of proceeding on this until I have the batteries. I'll just wait till I have all the parts, circuit breakers, fuses, and all that stuff all together, and then I'll just handle it as one project. It shouldn't be too bad installing this equipment as I've done it before. The inverter is a little bit heavy. That might be a challenge, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So basically, that's all the updates there is right now on the off-grid power system, but I will post more when I have it. And this is just to make sure that all this equipment here is working. You might also call this a burn-in test. Just making sure it works. I don't want to go through all the trouble of putting this stuff on the wall and installing it, doing all the wiring, and then have it fail. So there we are, pushing 240 watts. Just going to let this thing sit here and exercise. There's the charging, 1.59 amps. Of course, that's because I'm using quite a bit of power to charge this mower here. And of course, this inverter is not super efficient. It does consume power itself. There's one of the circuit breakers I ordered. Still waiting for some of the fuses and stuff to come in. But as soon as I have all that equipment together, I'll hopefully upload a video and show you the rest of that process. And then I should be able to run this air conditioner, 5000 BTU, all day long and even into the night, and try to keep the shop at least somewhat cool. It gets pretty hot in here. The workshop itself, it starts to get hot about towards the end of the day, but in here where the actual main area is, it gets really quite hot without air conditioning. It's really not bearable. Hope you guys enjoyed this short update. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.